Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel, and this is the Tech News Update. We are Tuesday, January 15th, 2019. And today in our Tech News Update, well, we have Huawei that is trying to get itself out of the little problems it's seeing everywhere with governments that don't want to have, their equipment and smartphones. Well, Huawei founder Ren Zhengfei says that the company does not spy for China and that it would not jeopardize its business and exchange of spying and doing bad things basically. And but he did say that he was a happy and loyal to the Chinese Communist Party. And well, the future is not really clear for Huawei. That is really one of the biggest tech companies in the world, and it's going to be interesting to see through 2019 what exactly is going to happen here. Well, the Google Play Store often has all sorts of little apps that people are saying, well, what the hell is that doing there? And, there's these little problems from time to time. Well, now Google says that in the next few weeks, it will be removing all apps from the Google Play Store that actually require access to SMS or call logs in your phone because it's in violation of the terms of services from its own service. So another cleanup coming up to the Google Play Store apparently. BuildFeed is one of those websites that's very, very well known if you're an insider. So one of the very popular websites for insiders to track Windows and Xbox build, both internally, like with the Canary builds, and of course giving details of the actual released builds, is shutting down. It seems that Microsoft might have done a lot of pressure, and well, they decided to just stop talking about builds. The owner of BuildFeed said that the information came from, of course, employees at Microsoft. The bad news is it's closing down. The good news is that the project is open source. It's available on GitLab, and who knows, maybe somebody somewhere will want to pick this up and continue the tradition of build numbers. Well, a interesting new build, talking about builds, has showed up for 19H1 as we had the last looks on BuildFeed. One of the things that showed up is a build that is actually made for foldable devices. It has the number 18313, and it's interesting to see where and how it's going to be used, but apparently that build is really for foldable devices. A survey of small to medium-sized businesses showed that more than half of them have absolutely no recovery plan for disaster. So that means if something bad happens, they're clearly in trouble. With ransomware and malware that is at an all-time high, and phishing scams and all of that, it seems that companies need to start looking at what they should do and how they could handle a crisis. Well, security researcher found that the 5 top web hosting services have major security flaws that, if exploited, could have put at risk up to 7 million users and even have their accounts hijacked. The researcher says that some were even vulnerable to very simple attacks. So this is a surprising find and shows that even the top web hosting services don't necessarily keep up to date with all the latest security fixes. Some of them have been, of course, contacted and say that they are working hard to have things fixed, but this is not good news. Well, Google, Facebook also, employees are teaming up against their bosses, basically. It seems that groups of employees have even done lawsuits against company to require them to change their practices after it was found, of course, that some of the bosses or the top level people there at the companies paid millions to go away amid sexual misconduct. And well, employees are kind of tired of that. So it's going to be interesting to see, and it shows a major change in how workers and bosses and all of this is happening and changing the basically we could see now that workers do on some of these big tech companies have a lot of power. Well, if you see something like this in a grocery store, don't be surprised. If you see the robot in your favorite grocery store, it's not there to replace employees at all. It's there to check for safety hazards. Apparently, 500 of these robots have been deployed and more are to come. They actually go around the aisles and just look for safety hazards like spills of anything from some of the containers and whatever, or boxes that might have fallen on the ground. And so basically it's there to keep you safe while you actually are doing your grocery shopping. And finally, of course, there was an outrage over the battery issues in 2018 when we learned that, iPhones were slowing down because Apple had a battery throttling feature. When the battery started to actually wear off, they would slow down so the battery lasts longer. Now, to make sure that people aren't too mad, Apple has actually done a program where they could replace for some models of iPhones the battery for $29. Well, the $29 battery upgrade process, actually, we had numbers today. We now learned that 11 million iPhones had their batteries changed thanks to this program. And this was the Tech News Update for Tuesday, January 15th, 2019. Enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.